Hey, how's it going, everybody? Today we are sitting on a year with our Tesla Model Y. We have the long range edition, 326 miles, and it's been perfect for us. We love the vehicle. We loved it from the beginning. I knew I kind of would, but we quickly adapted to it, and both of us loved it. We love it as a family car with our toddler, with our golden retriever dog that fits in the back. Everything about the car we love. However, I started thinking to myself that maybe there's reasons or some things to take into consideration before getting one yourself, whether it's a Tesla or any EV in general. So today we're going to talk about a new list of 5 new things to keep in mind before you take the plunge and decide to go EV, whether it's completely EV in far as both your vehicles, your only vehicle, or it's going to be part of kind of adding it to your fleet, so to say. So sit back, relax. You guys are watching the Tall Tesla Guy. So I want to start right out into this. So one of the biggest considerations with an EV, as you guys know, that the EV is going to be an electric vehicle. Now with a Tesla, it is completely electric. There's no hybrid option at all with it. So there's no gas or anything that goes into this vehicle. So it's basically going to be charge and go. Now one thing you got to consider with the Tesla or any complete EV vehicle is where you're going to charge. Whether you're going to charge at home or you're going to charge on the road. Now Tesla has this extensive with thousands of superchargers across the country, globally anyway, so they can realistically say they're pretty much anywhere you want to be. I know there's some remote areas, there's some remote trips that you take, some places off of the highway where you may not find a supercharger. However, if you find yourself in those spots, there's other charging networks that you can use with your Tesla. In fact, it comes with an adapter that you can plug right in so that you can still use them. So you can use Electrify America, you can use PlugShare, all these other different EV apps. You can use these other EV charging stations around the country. Now, they're going to be slower charges. Typically, they're going to be V1 chargers. So the difference being, if you plug in your car, your Tesla, or any other vehicle that you get into a 110 outlet, you're going to get about 3 to 4 miles per hour of recouped range from it. If you plug it into a 240 outlet, which is what we do, we had a 240 outlet run into our garage, you get about 30 miles per hour. So you got to take it into consideration as far as how long you're going to need to charge, how long you need to stop and go. If you're not near a supercharger or not near a public charging network, then you got to figure out another way to get that charge in there. So thinking about where you're going to charge, whether it's in a garage, superchargers, 110 outlet, 240, how much range you're going to need is something to definitely consider. You really want to take that into consideration. That's why I put it in my number 1. It seems to be the biggest fear that people have. It's the biggest consideration I had in the beginning between going from a gas vehicle traditionally to an electric vehicle is how much range do I need, and am I nervous about it? What about these trips? All that kind of stuff. I can say it's been great. Range anxiety went out the window after the first couple of weeks of driving the vehicle. Certainly after the first road trip that I was on, it never became an issue again, and it's not something I even think about now. However, it was something in the beginning, so it was important for me to get that. When I ordered the car in the beginning, I had 4 months before I got it. Plenty of time to get that 240 outlet installed, plenty of time to figure out where I was going to charge, find the supercharging stations around town, find the public charging network, that kind of thing. So where are you going to charge and how you're going to charge. And the next thing is, my number 2 for sure, is going to be the range. It's the one thing you can't add to the car. So they have different varieties of, most of the vehicles. Certainly with Tesla, you can get a standard range Model 3, you can get a long range, you can get a performance. Well, each one of them has a different range calculation that they give you for it. Similarly, every other electric vehicle also tells you the amount of range you're going to get. Now, Tesla has the most of any EV, right? Any EV that's on the market. Now, they say that the new Ford F-150 Lightning is going to be there, the Rivian is going to be there, the Lucid Air, but none of those cars are out yet. Right, so the current vehicles that are out in the market, Audi has one, Porsche has one, Chevy has one, GM has one. You're going to find an EV with just about every manufacturer because they had to make them essentially, but none of them come close to the Tesla range. Right, so to keep that in consideration, you may not need the range for your daily commute, but if it's going to be your only vehicle that you have, you need to think about it moving forward. You need to think about how much range you're going to need down the road. Certainly if an EV or a Chevy Bolt only gives you 100 miles of range, it might be great to get to the office, but what if you have to take it on a trip? What if it becomes your only vehicle? So something to keep into consideration and keep in mind when you're getting your car is the amount of range that you need. Tesla's, the Model Y is going to give you about 320 miles of range. Now that's perfect driving conditions, all that kind of stuff. EV or EPA rated anyway. And then with the new battery technology that they're talking about, these 4680 battery cells, they can get closer to 400 or 500 miles of range. So pretty soon they're going to be higher than any even gas vehicle that you can buy out there. So, consider the range that you need or want before you decide to take the plunge and pick your vehicle. The third thing is going to be the space, because one thing with EVs is everything is about weight. Right? The heavier the vehicle is, the more battery is used just by driving around or moving the vehicle forward or stopping or going or accelerating, all that kind of stuff. Well, Tesla designing their cars around the battery and then battery up essentially. It's all centered in the car in the middle. It gives you a really good weight distribution. You also get a really low rollover risk. In fact, the Model X was the only vehicle that NHTSA was unable to flip over in their rollover test. That's a great thing. I mean, that's a good thing. I don't want my car to flip over anyway. But the weight distribution with Teslas is just great in general. But EVs are typically going to be lighter, other than the battery weight. They want to really save and save space, save design, because it uses the battery if it's bigger and heavier. So consider the storage. Think about how much you need for space and storage. In our case, we have a baby. She's front-facing, she's a toddler now anyway, in a car seat. We also have a golden retriever dog. I needed him to fit in there as well. And so that's why we went with the Model Y. Model Y is a hatchback design. It gives us the space in the back. It's got the space in the front and the sides, all that kind of stuff. All of these, the shoulder room, the compartments. I'm also 6'5". I wanted to have headroom. I wanted to be comfortable in the car for these long drives. And I knew I wasn't going to get that if I was in a super small, compact, say Chevy Bolt or something like that. So that's why we went with the Tesla. We decided to go for the one with the space that was going to give us the space inside of it. Consider the space. Consider how much space you need before you end up picking it, end up getting it. The fourth thing is going to be the savings, right? EVs tend to be more expensive. No matter how you cut it, you can you can always get a cheaper car. You can always get a cheaper gas car too. So it's not like it's just an EV thing. But with EVs in general, you tend to get what you pay for, in a sense. You're paying for the electricity. You're paying for the lack of using a gas station. The saving the environment or help saving the environment. That rapid acceleration that you get with a Tesla, the 0 to 60s that'll suck you in your seat. I mean, that's what you're paying for, right? So, and then another thing with EVs is you tend to get charged for things like we have to pay our portion of the gas tax, even though we don't use gas. So they consider it part of our road usage. So we have to pay a fee for that. But a lot of states, including the government, if they end up passing the bill, they have incentives for EVs, incentives for you to go electric to save on emissions and all that kind of thing. So check with your state, because some of them can be in the thousands. California is up to $5,000 plus the $6,000 for this and $7,000 for that, all kind of thing. I happen to live in a state that doesn't give you anything. In fact, we have to pay the road tax for it. But a lot of states aren't like that. I'd say over half of them give you some sort of rebate. And then the government is even pushing to get this $7,500 rebate, even a $10,000 rebate, depending on the EV that you buy. So you might be able to save even more and get that price down well below anything that anything in the gas range. You can get a standard range Model 3 for 35-ish. And if you took $10,000 off, if your state has any rebates, pretty soon you're looking at a $20,000 car, and it's a Tesla at that. So definitely consider your rebates in your state and take a look at what the state offers and take advantage of them if you can, for sure. And then number 5 is a small thing, because Wi-Fi is nearly everywhere, and you can pull into a parking lot at Starbucks and take advantage of their free Wi-Fi, that sort of stuff. However, with Teslas and a lot of EVs now, they have over-the-air updates. The over-the-air updates are going to do anything from software redesigns to addition of games, videos. In Tesla's case, they even added some range with an over-the-air update. So things like that come into play. You need to be able to figure out where you're going to get that update. If you're not able to park it near your house, or you don't have a garage to park it in, or you don't have access to your Wi-Fi, you don't have good Wi-Fi there, you don't have a good internet signal, anything like that, you're out on satellite or something like that in a little bit more remote area, you really need to consider where you're going to get these updates. These updates come a couple times a month, at least with Tesla, and I'm sure with other EVs as well. And they allow you to update the software. And the systems, like I was saying. But if you can't get that Wi-Fi, you can't take advantage of that stuff. And then on top of that, I mean, you stream stuff directly from your phone. Your phone is one of the ways to access the car. You know, either the connection of your phone, or you can use the Tesla card. But ideally, you just walk up, your phone's in your pocket anyway. You get in the car, it connects to your phone, and it streams. So if you're not in a place that has good signal or anything like that, it might impede some of the functions and features of the car. So definitely something to keep in mind. But those were 5 new things that I was kind of thinking about after having the car for a year. Over 11,000 miles on the car, just what we've been able to experience in day to day, and some of the things that kind of jumped out at us. And then I also get a lot of questions and concerns from people, comments, and then from other social media pages where people talk about stuff. So that's just a few things that I was thinking about. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. And the routine, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Lets me know the kind of videos you guys like. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. You're able to enjoy some good weather. If you're down south, I hope you guys are staying safe. And in general, I hope you guys are staying safe out there. Thanks for watching, everybody.